Hi, team. Welcome to 10 Talks. Today's conversation is all about the power of hope. That part of graduation is that each class does a Give Hope project. You know that our model is a three-dimensional model. It's personal for significance, professional for success, and philanthropic for service. It's all about that whole person rather than just being a professional person out there performing and it all about success and all about your identity as if you're a winner. If you win, you're a winner. If you lose, you're a loser. We change that. We are so intentional about you as a whole person. So our third dimension is about giving hope, and that is our philanthropic component. So today we want to share with you Audrey and Sanja's class project as a Give Hope project, and let you see really how this transforms us to go from the power of our story. So Sanja and Audrey were strangers when they started the course. They had never met each other. To this day, we've never met in person because Audrey is in Florida, Sanja's in Arizona. And so we want to share with you just what happens when you have the courage to share your story, and then you have the desire from your story to create a project with the desired outcome of giving hope.
So this is certified life coach, sports life coach Sanja and I's Give Hope project. And this is my 10 heart. This is our 10 heart. And if you notice how heart is spelled, I think you'll appreciate it.
Love it. Noticed it immediately. Loved every second of it.
Good. So what my 10 heart means is hearts going down. This acronym means a lot to us. We spent some time on it and came from our heart. So hope, H is for hope, E is for embrace, A is for adversity, R is for recover, and then 10 is 10 life filled with love and faith. We developed a 10 heart through our story. Our desired outcome of our Give Hope project. Our desired outcome for our Give Hope project is to inspire and introduce new thinking to the next single parent and people raised by a single parent. Ideally, we want to introduce new thinking about being single parents and replace it with champion parents by sharing our personal stories, along with changing the stigma of someone who was raised by a single parent. We want to empower independent parents to live a champion 3D life that would be inspiring for their children, filled with love, faith, and hope.
Okay, so when we talk about Give Hope fundamentals, we talk about it takes zero energy to give hope to someone. And for a single mom, receiving hope can change her whole day. And receiving hope can come in many different forms. And then it is our hope that this Give Hope project helps other women excel in their life by sharing our personal experiences, using vulnerability with which neither one was comfortable with. We want to be champions for change and encourage others as well.
So this is Sanja's heart story, and we're gonna play it right.
Hi, Sanja. Hi. Okay, awesome. So would you like to tell us about your truth?
Well, part of my truth is that I am a single mom, not by choice, but, it's a situation I was in, found myself in, and I've embraced it.
Thank you. So how and when did you embrace the situation about being a single mom?
I think that process is still kind of going on at times. It's the fact. So it's just, for me, anything that is a fact is just is. And so it was difficult, but as the situation happened, about probably 2 days that I cried hysterically, and found myself kind of feeling less than anybody in my environment because I was a single mom, and I felt embarrassed, ashamed, all those things. And actually, I saw the effect it had on my child because she was still breastfeeding at that point. She was 8 weeks old, and it was like I was passing on all these stress hormones onto her through my breast milk. And I, had to have a heart-to-heart with myself in the bathroom, and really attack why are you the way you are right now? Why are you so sad? Why are you crying? And it was because I was afraid how my parents are going to accept the situation, really my parents and my work. And once I attacked those two, meaning like I addressed it, I spoke with my parents, I spoke with my boss, like it felt like it was just like wind in my back. It was like, all right, now we get to the people that I was worried the most about. They really don't care, still love me, and they care for me, and they want me, and they think I'm enough. So now let's stop stressing this child out. let's show her this can be done.
Love that. What did you learn about that adversity that you went through?
I think that, you know, a lot of times in life, we think we have plans and God has different plans for us. And, you know, if you had asked me at any point before that, am I ever going to be a single mom? I would have bet everything on my life that I would never put myself in that position. And here I was, found myself in that position. So like, I think just, well, that's one, like, you know, don't make plans because you never know what you're going to find yourself in, situation yourself in, good or bad. And I will say that I was afraid of it because I didn't think I was able to live in that space, that I wouldn't be able to do it, because I saw two parents, you know, that I grew up, my parents are still together and they've been married for 43 years. And so that's all I knew. So this was like new for me. But I would say that I've learned that I'm capable of a lot more, that my limits, like there's no limits, and especially when they are for somebody that I love so much.
When and how did you recover from the adversity that you went through?
I think it's another one that's kind of always popping up, you know, as my daughter's getting older, she's asking questions. And, you know, I think just learning through recovery. I think there's that grief at times when you know, when she asked about him and when she asked about, you know, the other parent. But at the same time, I think just when you know that somebody needs you so bad that you don't have time to sit in despair or misery or whatever you want to call it. I want to, and I, at the same time, not just because of my daughter, but also because of other people that are in the same situations, that I felt like I had a platform, being a coach in athletics and seeing pretty much being side by side with young women who may or may not find themselves in the same situation. I want them to be able to stand up for themselves. And, you know, as we know, not every marriage is a happy marriage. And a lot of times we get trapped into situations as women. We stay because of children, we stay because of this, because of that. And I would just want them to see that as a woman, you can be all, you can do it all.
Yeah, heck yes, absolutely. What advice would you give a single mom today?
Well, I would say, like, ground yourself in love, faith, and hope. And I don't love for yourself and your children, faith in whatever you believe in. My faith is in God. And, you know, I've seen him work his magic. I've seen him work on me and other people in my life. And hope, you know, never die. You know, for me, the hope in myself, in my village, in the humanity, and everything around me, the hope is never failing, you know. And so I think those three, for any woman out there, we don't have to do it alone. You know, I will say that I've learned to lean on my village. And that was a hard one for me because I didn't want to appear weak. I didn't want to appear like I don't know, I can't. And so just allow people around you to help when help is needed. And so, yeah, I think love, faith, and hope and village are the four this case that I would definitely ground next single mom in. And then hopefully becomes champion mom, you know?
Yay. Well, Stella is absolutely lucky to have you as a mom.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, Audrey, do you want to share with us your truth based on the topic we're covering today?
Yes, I would love to talk about my truth. The truth is, I was raised with a single mom in a single parent household, and that is part of my truth. That is my truth. That's part of my story.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. How and when did you embrace the situation you were raised in?
I would say that at a very young age, I knew that I was raised differently from my classmates or from my peers, just from their behaviors and honestly, just being at school and seeing them being picked up by both parents or one parent one day and one parent the next day. Even the lunch that they brought to school with them, because I didn't bring lunch. So there were very, very many different dynamics that came with being raised differently than my classmates when I was that little. Around probably 8 years old is when I knew that I was raised a little bit different than other people. I was raised in a single family household, and my mom did a lot of work to do to make sure that we were okay. So I spent a lot of time by myself. And yeah, I realized that when I was 8. And I think spending a lot of time alone allowed me to be very creative, and allowed me to want more for myself at a very young age.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. You shared a little bit about what did you learn from this adversity, but, maybe if you want to share a little bit more with us about, what has that adversity taught you and how did you grow in adversity?
So what I learned about that is I learned survival skills very early. That is part of my truth. Learning how the basic household needs: clean, cook, and not when to answer the doorbell. Safety skills, how to keep myself safe. That started really young, and that was an adversity that kind of kept happening even from 8 and beyond. So that was just something that I learned very really early on, and then I kind of adapted to it. And as I grew, I learned even more. But I would say that the best thing that I learned was that I could trust myself. And I would say that through that adversity is that I had to trust myself, and I had to trust my opinion, and my choices and my obligations and my responsibilities. I had to really trust myself that I would be okay at an early age.
That is awesome. Glad that that's how you took upon this adversity. Now, would you say did you need any kind of recovery? And when did you feel like you embraced that recovery from the adversity you faced at the early age?
Probably every day that I needed recovery. Recovery is, now that I'm thinking about it, such a strong word. And I'm thinking, like, do we ever recover? Yes, I do believe that we recover. I 100%, that is my hope and my faith that we recover at some point. And that can mean that we recover through new love. That could mean that we recover through new achievements like school or work or your biggest dream being completed. I do think that we recover. I think that there are things we need to help recover. So if you're an athlete and you break your foot, there are steps to be made to be able to get back to playing the game that you were playing before. So that's there's a time of reflection. So in this case, I would say that there was lots of watching film, but that came at a later age. I think for the most part, from 8 and beyond, I was really just in that like survival mode, like 8 to 25, 26, 27, like pretty late, that I was kind of almost in rest and recovery and also in survival at the same time, because I was healing and recovering while I was also learning. And now I can say that at 32, I do feel like I'm at the best recovered that I've been. But it did take a lot of reps. It took a lot of new muscles. It took a lot of so many strength, so many times going on the balcony. I mean, I know I'm using all the tools here, but literally, like, it took probably up until this year that I was able to fully recover. And there will be things going forward, but I do know, like, I have my sword, I've got my survival pack, and I do feel like that will always come in handy to know those things because it happened so young. Unfortunately, I had to learn that young.
Okay, so I'm going a little bit off script right now, but I want you to tell me your truth now. How do you see your truth now?
I would say my truth now is that and I know I know that I have often heard this in my life, like, you're not what happened to you, but you are responsible for what you do going forward with that trauma and those things that have happened to you. And I wish I can hold that quote, and like, I wish I can tattoo it in the inside of my heart, because it's so true. Like, you are not responsible for what has happened to you. Like, we weren't asked to be here, right? Like, God created us because he wanted us to be here, and he made us exactly the way he wanted us to be made. So he knew my truth way before I even went through all these things. And I feel like what my truth is now, because of hope, faith, and love, is I'm stronger and better than ever now because of owning my truth. Like, I had to ask myself, like, who are you and what kind of person do you want to be? And if you keep if I kept on with trying to please people, or kept trying to chase degrees and and trying to chase things that didn't make me happy, which I was for years, and just tried to fill certain areas in my life to feel better. I was filling to feel, and now I want to like go out in the world and actually use my power and truth that I learned this year. So I've recovered. I do feel like I've recovered a lot. And now, through these past couple of months, I know who I want to be, and I just want to embrace it and give it back to the world.
Yeah. And you are smart and educated, successful. So many things that you're beating all the stats that we put up in this presentation. And your truth and your story is so powerful. And I'm so proud of you for everything you've done. Now, what advice would you give to little Audrey, or another girl that is growing up with a single mom, my daughter?
Mm-hmm. Wow, I would give a lot of advice, but what I would give was first be, I would first say that first quote that I said is that you're not what happened to you, but you are responsible for what you do going forward with your life. And being in a household where I did grow up with a single parent, but not only did I grow up with a single parent, I grew up with a parent that I had to take care of. And I think that is a very huge dynamic that a lot of children face at a young age. And then we're just supposed to understand life, and we're just supposed to go out in the world and try to figure it out without a lot of guidance. And that was my personal story. And so I would say, now at 32, with the things that I've accomplished, and taking care of a mom, I feel like a single mom to my mom who was single. So my mom was a single mom, but I'm raising her, I felt like. I would say that you have to choose you earlier than later. I would say that person is what is and is here for great reasons, and those reasons are maybe we don't know right away what those reasons are, why we were made, or we might doubt like our life, and why was I here if I was just going to take care of my mom, or why was I here if I wasn't just going to be alone all the time, or why was I here if I wasn't going to have guidance and love? Like, I really went through a lot of those questions with myself growing up for years. And so the advice that I would give to little Audrey, or to another little girl or boy that is growing up in a single household, or a household where they're taking care of their parent, would be to put yourself first earlier than later, like to ask for help. I did not ask for help, and I was embarrassed to ask for help, and it made things so much harder to not ask for advice or help, or not ask for like a mentor, or not ask for advice, because I thought, like, well, what is that person going to do? Like, they don't know me, they don't know what I've gone through. And so I would say, like, my final thought with it giving advice would be just like, at some point you can put the sword down and allow someone to fight with you and for you, and you don't have to fight everybody. That's probably the most powerful one I would say to them.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you. Let's dance a little
Victory dance.
Okay, so we said, there's some stats that we were able to pull up about single parents and kids raised by single parents. So I will not be the statistics, because now I get to make my own stats. Today, 1 in 5 children under the age of 18, a total about 15.7 million, are being raised without a father. According to U.S. Census Bureau, out about 10 million single parents families with children under age of 18, almost 80% were headed by single mothers. A third lived in poverty. According to the latest available data, 9.2% had no health coverage, which blew my mind. Scary. Single mothers often spend half of their income on housing expenses and a third on childcare, leaving them with less money for educational expenses. Families headed by single mothers are among the poorest households. Almost a third were food insecure. At any one time, about 2/3 of single mothers are working outside of the home, a slightly greater share than the share of married mothers who are also working outside of home.
And these are statistics for men and women, children that grow up with a single parent or no parent in the home. They're likely to face emotional and behavioral health challenges like aggression or engaging in high-risk behaviors when compared to peers raised by married. Likely to end up in jail, foster homes, and not attend college. Most people are opting to more people are opting to marry later in life. So if you were raised without 2 parents, then they're usually looking to marry later in life, skip marriage altogether, and have kids outside of marriage. At the same time, marriages have grown more likely to end in divorce. Children of single parents are more prone to various psychiatric illnesses, alcohol abuse, and suicide attempts than children from a home with 2 parents, likely to turn to drugs, alcohol, and other negative coping mechanisms.
So for us, when we talked about this, it was like mind blowing. You know, obviously Audrey being the researcher on her side, like she brought us all this data in my life, and I was just like, even more so, like we gotta change the mindset, because I do feel like a lot of those things come from how you approach the situation, how like you thinking, the thinking and the skills that you have. And so obviously this is not like a whole project, we finish it and we're done with it. Like for me, it's something that I would love for us to expand on, get on, like, you know, within our team and whatnot, just to give hope one mom at the time, so the kids don't end up in jail, the kids don't end up, you know, in situations they're in. I know I'm doing it. And you know, this quote really resonates with me, because I'm like, I will not be the stats, I will, because now I make my own stats. So we wanted to empower more moms to feel the same. A lot of times you kind of get stuck, and like, you met my friend yesterday, we get stuck on that mindset of like living in the past, rather than, okay, this is my fact, this is part of my truth right now in my story. Moving forward, here's how am I going to live life and what I need to do. And I think once you ground all your energy into that, the outcome is different for these children. They didn't ask to be here, like Audrey would say.
Yeah, I think that was well said, Sanja. I think we took these stats really serious because Sanja's done everything in her power not to be any of those stats, you know, to take care of Stella, like not be food insecure, not live in poverty, like literally go above and beyond for herself and for her daughter. And taking this course is the first example, because she wants to be better in every way. And now Stella saying, you know, the pizza's a 1, or mom, what was your 10, right? So and same with Carlette, how you've raised, you know, your little women. So these stats were really important to us to kind of like see in our face and talk about and share, because it's so easy to be a stat, and we've been statting our life for the past 60 hours together. And so we came up with that quote. So we want to also gift that, that I will not be a statistic, because now I make my own stats, and we've been statting up our life for 60 hours, and they are so far from these statistics, like so far from anything like this. So we really love those.
So my new favorite thinking, that the moment we own our truth, we get to put all the energy towards creating a 10 life for us and our children. And that was part of my story earlier when I shared with it, and it stays, you know, it's like, you know, some people might do it in 2 days, other people might take a little bit longer. Somebody might do it in 2 hours. But at the end of the day, you know, just the sooner you own the truth, you can invest all the energy into creating a 10 life for yourself and for your family.
And that was a 10 moment for Sanja at Disney. That photo. So Audrey's new favorite, new thinking and hope. So my hope for humanity is that each and every one of us get a chance to heal from the pain we didn't ask for. And I think that that also goes with when we were talking, when I was in my video saying that, you know, we didn't ask to be here, but God knew what exactly we were going to be challenged with. We didn't ask for it, but he already knew. And my hope is that everyone gets a chance to heal from pieces of it through time. It may not happen right away, but my hope is that they can, because everyone deserves that. And that was a 10 moment of being the first person to graduate with a doctorate in my family. And then this is a gift to you that we wanted to give back. Here you go.
Love, faith, hope.
Love, faith.
What is it again? Let's see, what is it? So
Love, faith, hope. And then when you put it together, the size of our fist is the size of the heart. It's actually a fist. So the size of our fist is the size of our heart. So, you know, back to the heart 10.
Yes, beautiful.
You know, how we always try to figure out the ways we're going to end, and we do the heart and whatnot, and we can just do the love, faith, hope. Bye, guys.
Beautiful.
We hope it catches on, because we really kind of got behind it. So we're trying love, faith, hope.
Beautiful.
But together is like, Stella told me this, and I was like, I asked Audrey if this is true, but like, she says that this, Mom, did you know the size of your heart is like the size of your fist is the size of your heart? And I was like, oh, I didn't know that, but okay, thanks. So, and then Audrey confirmed. So I was like, all right, let's go with that then.
There's Stella adding to our project.
Right. And we wanted to gift that to the next class if you ever wanted to. So they better get with it, because they need to learn it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a new tool. So
Yeah.
there you go. That is our new, that's it for us. So
Yeah.
love it.
Yep.
Beautiful.
This was a last thought, and thank you. I said, I'm not the person I was 60 sports life training hours ago. I am wiser, braver, and stronger than I ever was. When I didn't know I needed it most, God introduced me to a new way of a 10 living. Carlette, thank you for taking a chance at getting to know me, for being patient, kind, pure, and intentional with my heart. I learned when to put the control hat down and when to love myself. I learned that it's okay to feel the pain, but it's also okay to receive healthy love. Thank you for listening to my soul when it was hurting. Thank you for being a 10 in my new 10 life. Sanja, thank you for being the most amazing teammate I have ever had. The amount of love and support you've showed me with every workout has been so warm. I will always root for you and be on your team to support you and Stella. I'm so excited to watch you in your next 10 life. You deserve every piece of adventure, happiness, and beyond. And then I put P.S. Pepper, because I wanted to remind you that I was going to learn how to pepper. I love always, Audrey.
My dear coach and teammate, I'm filled with overwhelming gratitude as I attempt to express the impact you two had on my life. I don't think there are words for me to express the love, respect, and appreciation I hold for both of you. Carlette, your unwavering belief in me, even during my moments of doubt, has been a lifeline. Your strength and compassion have shown me my own worth and pushed me to unlock my hidden potential. I can't wait to be a gift to the world, to become an agent of change and become someone's Carlette. So, Audrey, your strength, vulnerability, perseverance, and commitment to change have brought immense joy into my life. You've taught me that when the change is wanted, it can be done under the craziest circumstances. You radiate love, and I can't wait to see the change you will make in this world. You both have shown me the true meaning of compassion, selflessness, and love. I'm forever grateful for the memories, laughter, and tears we've shared. Thank you for being catalysts of growth, pillars of support, and unwavering sources of inspiration. With heartfelt love and gratitude, Sanja.
So Sanja and Audrey, thank you so much for the gift of being a champion for you. choosing what are your 8, 9s, and 10s, and really enjoying the journey of being intentional about being a champion for us, giving hope and being a champion for others, and choosing a 10 life. Thank you, Audrey and Sanja.